What's up guys, it's Frogfaduck. This is a MacBook. More specifically, this is the M1 MacBook Pro. See, you can tell because it says so. This laptop pretty much represents every single characteristic of Apple's current laptops. You've got the impossible thin and light design, you have little to no ports. If your keyboard stops working, you have to replace the entire top housing. And just in general, these things are absolutely non-repairable. They specifically make it as difficult as possible to get into here, and then to actually repair it, and then to actually get parts for it. It's a mess. But what if I were to tell you that Apple made an anti-MacBook? Something that completely goes against everything that their current laptops stand for. If you follow the lineage of the MacBook Pro all the way back to the late 90s, you get this. Apple. This chunky behemoth right here is a PowerBook G3. More specifically, the Lombard model. It's a mess. There's a lot of G3 models, but this is the first of the last ones. It's the third out of the 4 models, so yeah. But this laptop pretty much goes against absolutely everything modern Apple. First of all, check out how absolutely chunky this thing is. This is an absolute brick. Oh, you may be wondering, where's all the ports? All the ports are actually located on the back. And check out how many there are. Bit dusty in here, but honestly this thing's pretty old. And they're all neatly tucked away behind this door here. See this bit in the middle? This is made out of rubber. So this is plastic, this is rubber. We turn this around, that's also rubber, and yeah, it is a little bit scratched up unfortunately. Let's open this thing up. Yep, that's right, you still gotta use a latch. Oh my god, look at that bronze keyboard. I'm not sure if it just looks like this because of age or if this is how they're actually meant to look. But damn, that is a very interesting color. It actually looks kind of nice, not gonna lie. Not only is this the anti-MacBook because of its large variety of ports on the back and its chunky design, but because of a few other reasons. So on the newer models of MacBooks, the keyboards are actually riveted in. You straight up cannot replace the keyboard without replacing the entire top housing, which sucks. But on this model, it's a lot easier. You just grab these 2 tabs, and pull the keyboard forward. That sound was this thing here. That is goofy. But yeah, look at that. You just get access to your hard drive right here. I know on modern MacBooks, or especially the Mac Studio, you can't really replace the storage, and if you do, it just freaks out. What else you got? What else you got? I think under here is probably the RAM. What's that? I don't know. This is actually really good because many other laptops from Apple, even into the 2000s, would still have this keyboard mechanism thing here where you can pull down, but the hard drive would be shoved all the way into the bottom. This one's just right at the top, easily accessible, so yeah. But what if I were to tell you that that's not even its biggest party trick? There we go, that's back in. But what if I were to tell you that that isn't even this thing's biggest party trick? Some of you guys might have seen the Framework laptop, which is a modular, repairable laptop that has these expansion cards that you shove in the sides. But what if I were to tell you that Apple, of all companies, was actually the first to do that? Allow me to demonstrate. If I pull these 2 tabs out, here we have the battery and the CD drive. This is really cool because not only could you just, swap out your CD drive for a floppy drive in case you needed it, but also you could just straight up buy another battery and shove 2 batteries in here for double the battery life. That is absolutely incredible. And just to demonstrate, I'm gonna put the battery into this side. And as you can see, it fits in nicely. And now I shall take it out and put it in this side. How cool is that? So you might be wondering what this little door here is for, and that's actually to suit the CD drive, because it's got this extra little bit, because, it's a CD drive. You can't put the CD drive in this side because it doesn't have that little door thing. But yeah, swappable modules in a MacBook. You will never ever see this again from Apple. So some of you guys might have seen my PowerBook G4 video, where I pretty much said that this laptop was the modernization of the PowerBook line. And I said that this was a departure from the curvy plastic black laptops. This was the laptop I was referring to. And you can see here, side by side, it is a massive difference. At least on this one, you can still pull the keyboard off. But as you can see, you don't have easy access to the hard drive, unlike this one. Ah yeah, look at those heat indicators. The G4 ran hot. The G5 ran so hot they couldn't put it into a laptop, so yeah. It's kind of like how the 2019 MacBook Pros ran stupidly hot because of the i9s they put in there. And what did they do? They switched to Apple Silicon, so yeah. History quite literally repeats itself. One other thing I'd like to mention that I've got these two out, yeah, the Apple logo on this one is upside down. That's all. But yeah, if you wanna see a bit more about this laptop, I've actually made a video about it, so link in the description below, or click this thing up here. That also works too. Alright, let's turn this thing on. I have the original puck charger for this, but this is really sad, this particular one. Look at that spring. What does the spring do? It is safe, I have plugged it in, it does work, but yeah, that's a bit... It's literally a headphone jack. That's literally a headphone jack. Wait a second. Hold on, there's a way to test this. No, it's a headphone jack! That is literally a headphone jack, that is crazy. Part of me does want to see what happens if I plug this in, but I don't want to blow up this phone. But you know what, maybe we'll do it to another phone that doesn't work properly. Unfortunately, for people who don't like tech destruction, I'm a little too curious now. This phone's pretty much stuffed anyway, it's logged into someone's iCloud, it's missing a home button, so it's never going to have full functionality again anyways. So here we have just a bog standard iPhone 6. We're going to plug this thing into the wall and chuck it into the headphone jack and see what happens, because I am just too curious to not try this. Yep, we are unable to activate Touch ID on this phone. Literally, don't worry about what's on this phone, this is just someone's random phone that I got in a bulk lot. I don't know what's gonna happen. If I'm gonna electrocute myself, maybe. If the phone's gonna blow up, maybe, but here we go. Go. What? It just rebooted. Press time to open. Alright. Okay, now it's not. That was so weird, so it just rebooted the phone out of nowhere. Well, I don't think it really does anything, so that's a little bit interesting, I guess. Okay, let's actually turn this thing on now without trying to blow stuff up. This plugs in at the back. There we go. Green light. For whatever reason, something spins up whenever you plug it in. I've got no idea why. Let's turn it on. Yeah. Here we go, now we're in macOS 9.2, which was the last version of the classic macOS. Oh, look at that, we have the end user license agreement. Let's have a little read. Oh, it's from Microsoft Internet Explorer. Yeah, interestingly enough, we actually have Cubase on here. I tried, as you can see, making a song with it. I've got no idea how to use it. Alright, since I really can't find anything else to do in here, let's open up Cubase. You know, let's open up my little project I tried to do before. I am getting curious, and I do want to see if MIDI is going to work on here, so we're going to plug this thing in. Luckily, this thing has 2 USB ports, so very easy to plug in. Okay, so USB-B into the keyboard, and then around the back, we flip the door down, and we plug in USB. Now, will it recognize the MIDI keyboard? That is the true question. Or is this... Are you for real? Guys. Software needed for USB micro key is not available. Do I need software? Do I need software? Maybe I do. Who knows? I'm gonna put it on the keyboard, but putting the keyboard on the keyboard. Honestly, I want a laptop that's just like a trackpad and then a MIDI keyboard. Imagine that. Or you could pull off the keyboard. I hate doing this because I feel like I'm gonna snap it. Or maybe you could pull off the keyboard and put on a MIDI keyboard. That would actually be really cool. Okay, well, quite frankly, I don't think this is gonna work. I don't think I have media equipment old enough to support this, and even if I did find the drivers it's looking for, they don't exist. Who the hell would have made drivers for that keyboard for macOS 9? Alright, let's just press the record button. That's nasty. Hold on, if we go to MIDI 1 and we press record, pressing many keys. Yeah, I don't think that's working. So there you go, I've got no idea how to get Cubase working on macOS 9. Apart from that, I don't really know what else to do with this. Some of you are wondering, hey Frogfaduck, does the battery work? No, it doesn't. So for the rest of the video, we're just going to take a look at some other laptops and compare it to this one. Why not? Here we have the PowerBook 3400C. Why am I showing this? Well, these pretty much look exactly the same as the first ever PowerBook G3s. And this one looks exactly the same as the final PowerBook G3, because they just had FireWire on the back. This is the only difference. In terms of chunkiness, yeah. You can see you can actually click the trackpad while it's closed. It's absolutely ridiculous. So if we take a look at the side, oh no, somebody just got doxxed. If I could be bothered to unscrew it, you can actually just take out the CD drive and replace it with a floppy drive. So even the modularity stuff was here even this early. Pretty sure I can just rip out the battery here. There we go. So here's the battery, and that just slots in like that. So if you want to see this one in slightly more detail, it appears at the end of my PowerBook 190 failed repair video. That video was very sad, but if you just want to see this one, you can skip to the end and avoid all the sadness. These things are only 2 years apart from each other. That is crazy. There is one PowerBook G3 design that goes between these two. I don't have it, so who cares? That would be the Wall Street model. So let's open this thing up. Yep. And let's open up this one. So yeah, you can see a very different design. These keys are absolutely chunky as all hell. So this is pretty much your more standard laptop scissor switches. I don't even want to know what these things are. I hate these arrow keys so much. Surprising fact about this machine, the battery on it works. So also another really cool thing. Boom, it has pop-out feet. So if you want better ergonomics on your laptop, just pop them out. And now you got feet. Here's your ports. Here's your ports, by the way. There you go. So now when you stand it up and you go to type on it, that doesn't give me much confidence. It feels even less stable than before. Here's a more direct comparison between the PowerBook G3. The iBook G3. So in 1999, this was Apple's consumer and pro laptop range. So honestly, Apple's consumer lineup at the time was a little bit more advanced than this thing was, which is confusing. This one doesn't have a latch. There is just straight up no latch on here. On this one, it does have a latch. You can sort of see that this thing has absolutely chonk bezels compared to that thing, and I guess that makes sense. Come on, look at this. Look at this thing. And also, you can still do the same party trick on this one here as well. Now, you can see the hard drive, but the hard drive is really hard to get to because you need to actually disassemble all of this. And let's pull this one up down. Yeah, so big difference on the inside. Part of me wonders if I can swap the keyboards onto here. No, why don't we get a little image of what the swap keyboards would look like? And I love that sound. It's just a regular mouse switch in there compared to the traditional sounding trackpad button. Very interestingly, both of these laptops also have rubber on their surfaces. It's just that this one's blue and this one's black. And I mean, just look at the base of these things. These couldn't be any more different. These are the two sides of the late 90s here. God, the 90s were a weird time. And yes, we do have some translucency on here. Look at this latch release button. And you can see the entire laptop is a little bit brown. It's a little bit brown when you shine light on it. and you can really see the rubber up close here. Actually, you know why the iBook is better? Because this one has a handle on it, so you can carry it around easily. I did actually make a video about the iBook G3 if you want to take a look at this, so click this thing up here, or link in the description below, whichever one you want to do. And finally, let's bring back the M1 MacBook, which is actually upside down. These logos really throw me off. Yeah, I think it's pretty safe to say that they've innovated slightly on the design. Mind you, this is also in a case, so it's a little bit thicker than usual. So yeah, this isn't even really a comparison. There's actually no point comparing these two. They're so different. This pretty much represents the complete opposite of what modern Apple laptops do, and really just the entire industry in general. So that's the PowerBook G3 in all of its weird glory. My name's Frogfaduck. You can set it however you want. I really don't care. That's the end of the video. Thanks for watching.